talk about one of our tools called the Quality Monitor. And you can find Quality Monitor by going to smartpandatools.com and then go to All Products and go down to Quality Monitor here. And so we're going to talk about Quality Monitor and give a little demo of it. This is a tool that helps you monitor your data. So in your PeopleSoft environment, and I should mention that this product runs in any PeopleSoft. So that can be HCM, it can be finance, campus solutions, supply chain, any PeopleSoft environment. And so we know you have a lot of data that's critical data for your enterprise, and yet how aware are you and the personnel that work in your PeopleSoft environment, how aware are they when there's bad data, dirty data, or on the other side, there's opportunistic data. So something comes along that needs to be cleaned up, or something comes along that is an opportunity that someone needs to quickly act on. And so we find that because PeopleSoft is such a large, complex system, it can be, a lot of time can pass before these kinds of data events come to people's attention in a timely fashion. And so Quality Monitor is a batch processing system that allows you to easily configure and easily become aware of these data events as soon as they happen. And so it's a pure bolt-on. It touches absolutely no delivered code. It's completely configurable, and we're going to show you a quick demo of this. But this is an overview of it here. It's intended to find common errors, out of sync data, orphan data, as well as improvements and opportunistic data. If you click on read full details, it will open this page here. Quality Monitor, be aware of your data. And this page has full description of the features that we're going to be demonstrating for you here. The first aspect of Quality Monitor is what we call system diagnostics. And so in the configuration, you're going to see here, I'll open up a new one. Well, I'll just show you here. So if we look at the setups for Quality Monitor, you can see we have it here under its prior name, Health Checker. Health Checker was the original product name, and then we realized that it's Health Checker implies that it's bad data, and so we've begun calling it Quality Monitor because you can actually view it as opportunistic as well as bad data. But here's the configuration and run controls for it. So on the diagnostic side, we deliver, on the campus solutions side, we've delivered 80 diagnostics out of the box, but this is completely configurable. So what is a diagnostic? A diagnostic is a set of, it's a SQL select essentially. So you can configure any diagnostic. Here's the SQL select name you can see here. So we deliver these SQL selects. In this case, it's going to be active students lacking an advisement report. So this is a campus solution diagnostic. There's a description of it here and the parameters that it's going to be looking for. Now, you're by no means limited to these 80 diagnostics. Well, and if you're not a campus solutions environment, we wouldn't expect you to be running these, but you will create your own diagnostics. On the HCM side, you might be looking for people who lack payroll information, for example. And so what do you do with these diagnostics? You can see other examples of ones that we've, classes with no meetings, classes with no instructors, and so on. What do you do with these? So there's a run control, and this is completely in your control. Let's say we want to run one where these, you might have noticed also these diagnostics are are related by module. So you could run, and let's look at all our academic advisement diagnostics. So we had set up 6 of them, and by clustering them by topical area, which again you could configure, you're able to organize these by department or by topic subject area, because you may want to schedule these differently depending on which department owns these data areas. So I can run all my academic advisement or all my curriculum or all my financial aid diagnostics. We'll look at financial aid. We could run all my financial aid diagnostics together on weekly, or, and so the advantage of running them in groups, and by the way, once you select diagnostics, it tells you what the parameters are. And then you just want to make sure that you populate those parameters in the run control. And so let's take a look at my, for example, my AA or my academic advisement. So I just ran these 6 diagnostics that relate to academic advisement. And you'll see here that here were the parameters that I ran it for. And you'll see here that, or I'll go to process monitor, you can see the output. So here's the output. If we click on this process here, and you'll see what it did here. So it ran all of the related SQLs and produced CSV files for them, named according to the functional description that I gave the diagnostic. And then what we have here is a combined report. So with those 6 diagnostics, I don't have to, if I just want to, maybe I'm running this weekly and I just want to inspect and see, was data found? I can just look at this combined HTML report and scroll down and see the individual, here's some reports that are available for purging. Here's students lacking a report. And I can just go and quickly scan these in a combined HTML output, and then decide if I want to take further action on them. So this is one of the methods that Quality Monitor delivers. Now the other one is even more configurable, and that is queries. So what we found when we released the original health checker was that institutions want to have even more control and even more functional control. So using SQL statements is not quite as far as we wanted to go with functional control. And so we released a query-based version of this. So let's look how the query works. So you're going to do a simple setup of what we call check IDs. And this is nothing but a query configuration. So let's look, for example, applicants who are in a pending status. And so this is very much like our diagnostic table, but it's query-based. So here we just list the query that has the data that we're looking for, either good data or bad data. Again, we have a module that we can type it under. We have a description, and notice this will be the email body. So I can use HTML here. For example, you can see here, we have a description. Here's an HTML description. Okay, so this will be the body of the email. So one difference with the query-based is that it does send out emails. The great thing we love about the query tool, or the query version of it, is that it only sends emails, as we explain here. It only sends emails if there's data found. Differentiator between this tool as opposed to the normal delivered schedule query is that schedule query sends an email whether or not data is found, whereas this tool is only going to send an email to people if the query returns data. So you could set up a query to run nightly, 7 days a week, looking for some bad data. Here we have one of people who lack citizenship. So this might be a kind of a serious error, and you want to become aware of it as soon as possible. You could run this query every day, and it's only going to send an email once data is found. And so who will it send an email to? Here's the list of the people it will send the email to, only if data is found. And so once I set these up, so a functional person can write a query, functional person could set up this table, and then the only thing we need to do is run these. And so here's the query, run control. Let's go ahead and take a look at. So I ran this one a minute ago. Again, I can group these by module. I ran this 1 minute ago to run my academic program issues. And let's look at the email that I got. So here's what the email is going to look like. The header is going to be the description from my setup table. And this is the email body, just as one example. As I mentioned, you can have much longer, more detailed instructions. The email body is really meant to, because people are going to be getting these emails, they're naturally going to want to know, well, what should I do with this? Or what's the meaning of this data? And so we have an email body that lets you tell them what the meaning of it is. And then we attach the data set here. You know, people nowadays are out shopping, they're out getting their car repaired, and so by having the data here appended to the email, they can quickly take a look at this in their email and see if it's something, what they need to do to take action on it. And so, as I said, they're only going to get this if there's actually a data set, and that's the key difference as opposed to the scheduled query tool. So we feel that with the combination of these tools, the diagnostic tool and then the query-based tool, we're giving you a highly configurable, highly flexible kind of fire and forget tool. You know, you just schedule this. I could set this up to run this on a recurrence, run it daily, and the only time I'm going to get an email is when data is found. I'm aware of bad data or opportunistic data in a really highly flexible way, and you don't even have to think about it because you can have the assurance to know that as soon as that data is found, it's going to be taken care of. Again, contact us if you'd like more information. We're at smartpandatools.com.